Here we have one concept of SC Linux that they're going to teach the completely about the security part that they're going to take it here. And here that compared to the Windows operating system, it's very secure. And one thing, it is a command-based operating system. So if I'm going to log into any of the server and give it that, you will not be able to access it. It's not like Windows. Click there and open it and closing it, fill some details. It's not like that. For each and every stage that you have to know the command. So if you know the command, then only you can process it further. Okay. So the next thing. So it's a virus-free operating system. That is also one advantage. So now for an example, when you're using the Windows operating system, I will give one pen drive for you to copy some document. So directly you will copy it, or else you will scan it and copy. So why you're going to scan it? You're scared that if there is a virus in the pen drive. Correct. So for that, you have to have the antivirus that if you wanted to scan it. So for that also you have to pay. OS you have to pay, antivirus you have to pay. Correct. But if you come to the Linux, it is a virus-free operating system. So we have the antivirus. It's not that you have to install it. Some servers, some reasons that they're going to install it. Otherwise, not for all the server. Okay. So this is the, in the security concepts compared to the Windows, Linux is very secure. So that is what that they're going to upgrade for Linux operating system. So the last one that and one more thing I forgot to tell you. Have you seen that the C drive in the Windows, in the My Computer, CTEF and all? So have you tried to access any file or directly in the one which is there in the C drive? Anytime. So if you try to access that, some files you can access it, not for all the files. Might be you have logged into the system with the admin account, but still when you try to access it, it shows some encrypted form, which you cannot see the data, what they have written and kept it. So if you come to the Linux system, if you come to the Linux system, you can customize according to your requirement. All the files and directories, you can access it. Any of the concept, if you feel, okay, this concept should not work like this, it should work in the different way in the sense, you can customize it according to your requirement. That is also the option you have. When you log into the admin account, all the commands can be executed. Okay. So the last one we have that everything is a file. Each and everything that we're going to call it is a file. Even for the directory, I said, no, the blue color. We call it a directory file actually. Directory also we call it, otherwise directory file also we call it. Each and everything we call it as a file. So once I come to the file system unit, I'm going to give the more details on this. Okay. So as of now, we have discussed about the 5 features: multi-user, multiple users can log in and access the system. I showed the example. Multitasking, multiple application and jobs can be executed. Next one is a open source. It is a free of cost. You can just go to the Google and download and access it. And if you come to the next one, it's security. Compared to the Windows system, Linux is very secure. The last one we have that it's everything is a file. Each and everything that we're going to call it is a file that we're going to call it. Okay. So any questions so far before going for the next question, next concept? It's clear. Okay. I'm just going to show you some basic commands here. So the first one, if you wanted to see that the architecture, so uname space -m, it shows that the 64-bit architecture I have here. So otherwise that you can go for uname space -i, and otherwise you can go for P or ASCH. See this, all the 4 command output, it is same. Okay, just if you remember one command, it's more than enough. It shows the architecture of the operating system. Okay, so the next one, if you wanted to know that the name of the operating system, so you have to go for uname space -o. O for operating system. What is the operating system I'm using? I'm using the Linux operating system. I will talk about this GNU later. Okay, so we have the concept in the first unit that I will talk about that later. So O for operating system, I'm using the Linux operating system. So the next one, N. So if you go for uname space -n, in my system, it's showing that the redhat.example.com. But the same command, if you run it in your system, it shows that the localhost.local domain. Because in my system, in the different class, I have changed this name. But in all your system, it shows the localhost.local domain. So in the further classes, I will tell you how that can be changed. So otherwise that you can go for the host name command also. This also, it shows the same output. Instead of going for this, all the different options, so you can just go for A. Uname space -a for all, which means all you can see in one shot. Enter. See what is the operating system I'm using it, what is the name of the system, kernel version it shows, the date and time operating system, architecture it shows, and here that what type of desktop I'm using, that all the details it shows in one shot. Instead of going for the different options, just you have to go for -a, which it shows all the details. Okay. So the next one. So the next one, we are going to see that the types of desktop. Next one, we are going to see that the types of desktop. In the types of desktop that we have, that the two types of desktop we have. We have the two types of desktop. The first desktop, it is a genome, and the second one we have the KDE. What is genome? GNU's network object module environment. Genome full form, it is GNU's network object module environment. Okay, so KDE, what is KDE? It's a cool desktop environment. Okay, for KDE full form, it's not COOL, it's a KOL, cool desktop environment. So this is the full form of this. So now what desktop we are using it? If you wanted to see that, just you have to go for U namespace -O, enter. I told you sometime back that if you go for the O for operating system, I'm using the Linux operating system. In that, what desktop I'm using it? In that, I'm using the Genome desktop. GNU you have no, so which means that I'm using the Genome desktop. In case if you are using KDE, then you will get here that the KDE you will get it. So it's a KDE and Genome, it's both it's same command and same operating system. Only the difference, the graphical desktop is different. Okay, so if you want that the KDE desktop, so by default the package is not installed. You have to go for the yum install and KDE start space -y. So this package that you have to install it. Yum install KDE start space -y. So once you install, see if you wanted to install, make sure 2 to 2.5 GB free space you have to have it. If you have enough free space, then you can install it. After installation, at the time of booting the system itself, you can choose that what desktop that you wanted to use. Okay, so these two types of desktop which you have, you can choose them, and then accordingly you will get it. See, once you get into the KDE desktop, no, it looks like Windows operating system. So in the Windows operating system desktop, it looks like. And here that if you click on the start, you will get all the application will open, no, in the Windows. The same thing in this KDE also it has. In the KDE, if you click on the document, all the application will open and then you can access it. Okay, so here that since I'm using the Genome desktop, I'm going to show you that in the Genome that what are all the options that we have. I just minimize this terminal. So here I'm using the Genome desktop. So if you're using the Genome desktop, this is the window it's going to launch for you. Here that I'm going to show you that where and all what all the options that we have. So here that you can see here that the application and places and the system. So this that which you can see in the graphical desktop. In the Windows operating system, that if you click on that start, all the application will open. No, that they have divided in 3 places here. Okay, so what are all that we have? So let's go for one by one. The first one that we have the application. In the applications that we have accessories, graphics and internet, sound and video, and the system too. Inside you have the many other options we have. So the next one we have that here the places. If you come to the places, home folder and desktop, documents, music, picture, downloads, computer. So here we have the my computer. Sorry, in Windows you have my computer. Here we have computer. More or less like a option also same in Windows. Okay, so the next one we have the network option through the graphically. If you wanted to do any changes, setting, you can do through graphically. Connect to server. How you are going to connect from one Windows to another Windows server? Windows to Windows, how do you connect? How do you connect for the remote system, Windows to Windows? Have you heard about RDP, remote desktop? If you click on the start and just type remote desktop, you will get, if you click on the remote desktop, one window is going to launch, where you can fill the details of IP, username and password, where you can connect to the remote system of the Windows. So the same thing, if you go for connect to server, Linux to Linux, you can connect. Okay. Next one, search for a file. So might be you have kept somewhere the file you have forgot. If you wanted to find out through the graphical, you can go for the search for a file. And recent use file, it shows here. And after that, you have here the system. And in the system that you have the preferences, this all it's operating system one it shows. And administration. If you come to the administration, you can see here that the add and remove software. To the graphically, if you wanted to install anything or if you wanted to remove it, just go for this. And authentication and date and time. Date and time already I have told you how you can change it from the command prompt and all. Firewall, kernel crash time, printing. What is printer? What do you do with the printer? Print the document. Okay, so how many types of printer we have? Two types of printer we have. Okay, so one is the local printer and the network printer. So local printer in the sense, normally we keep one printer at home for any emergency if you wanted to print the document. And what is network printer? See, when you're working in organizations, they give the printer for all of them. See, you're all working in one organization. Will I be able to give the printer for all of them? No, then how do you print it? If you wanted to print some document through the network. So through the network, you must have seen that outside in the Xerox shops, you have a white color, the big printer you have, Xerox machine you have. No, the same thing in the organizations you will be having it. You can Xerox it, you can print it, color printout, you can take it, scan it, all that you can do in one. Okay, so that is the through the network that you're going to print the document. Okay, so you will be having the quota. See, in the organizations, you cannot print it how many pages you want, you cannot print it. Quota in the sense it's a limit. Every month, each guy will get like 50 pages or 100 pages. If they cross the quota, then you have to request the IT guys adding your manager in the email saying that project related documents, printout, I have to take it. Please extend my quota. So then they will extend it. Okay, so that is quota concept is different. And here that you have the Red Hat subscription manager, RHN registration. See, if you're going to register with the Red Hat, no, so you will get all the updates. Quarterly plan you have, yearly plan you have. Accordingly, if you're going to register all the updates that you will get in. So the next one is services. If you wanted to manage the services through the graphical, you can go for that. Software update and user and group. So through the graphically, if you wanted to create the user, delete the user, all these functions can do it. But in the further classes that we are going to do it from the command prompt, we will do it. So the next option you have here, one PDF you have here. Okay, if you find time after go through this all the recording, so just see that and don't go through the complete PDF. Okay, it's a very lengthy. You have more than 500, 600 pages. You have initially see some pages so that along with the screenshot, they have given some concepts. Okay, so the next one here that you have the help option and about this computer. So if you click on that, no, it shows that what desktop you're using. I said that I'm using the Genome desktop. No, see, this is the icon of the Genome. If you're using the KD desktop, it shows here KD, it shows of that icon, it shows. So here it shows that redhat.example.com, it's my system name, but in your system, it shows that localhost.local domain. So after that here that the Red Hat Enterprise Linux server, release version, kernel version, and genome version. Okay, so after that hardware details, memory and processor, we have 996 MB, we have memory and processor. I'm using the i5 core Intel processor I'm using. So the next one, system status, available disk space. After doing all the partitions, still I have the 3.1 GB space I have. Okay, so I just close this. Next one you have here, logout root. I just click on this. So here you have the three option, logout and cancel and switch user. If you wanted to switch from one user to another user, what is the command? SU is the command. If you wanted to log out, exit. So that if you wanted to go for graphical, here you have the option command already I have showed you. So the next one here that you have the shutdown and restart and cancel. Now, after every day that usage of your system, that if you wanted to shut down, so make sure, remember the command that the init 0. If I'm going to enter my Linux system, it will go for down. Even in the production servers, if they ask you to shut down any server, you have to go for the same command. Now, I have that such requirement, I have to reboot. So for that, you have to go for init 6. I did not run that command. I have come out from that. Control C, I have used it. Init 0 is the command to shut down the server. Don't think that your Windows also it will shut down. No, it's going to shut down only your Linux system. Okay. If you go for init 6 is to reboot. Okay, some certain reasons that if you wanted to reboot it, you have to go for init 6. After usage of that everyday your system, don't close it directly that here, the Oracle VirtualBox. Okay, first you have to shut down. So how? With the help of this command. And after that, from tomorrow that if you wanted to boot the system, double click here. It will start boot. Okay. So the next one in the graphically. So after this that you have a browser here, that is a graphical browser, you can see Firefox. So in the further classes that we will see that what is the text browser that we have, we will see. After that, one notepad we have here, volume management, network connectivity, battery backup, date and time, and which user we have, we are in now. So I'm in the root account here. These are all the details that I can see in the top panel we can see. If you come to the workspace, no, you have this all the icons that you have: computer, root zone, and trash. These packages I have created in my system. In your system, only you have the computer, root zone, and trash that you have. Okay, so if you come down, you can see here that the trash box you can see, and here that you can see that the 4 small boxes that you can see. This we call is a workspace. This we call is a workspace. The highlighted with the blue color, the one which I'm using it now here. So now this one, I will take some example. So now here I have one terminal here. Okay, so already a couple of commands that I have executed. I will open one more terminal. So now, by mistake, if I wanted to close this empty terminal, by mistake, if I'm going to close this, if any activity happening actively, that it will interrupt it, interrupt, or it may go for escalation, or you have to start that again activity. So instead of that, what you can do that in such situation, you can move that terminal for another workspace. Just right click, move to another workspace. I'm just moving into workspace 2. Okay, enter. See, that's terminal, it's not here. So then what you have to do, go to the workspace 2 and check, see this terminals here. Okay, so this is how the multiple terminals can be accessed. What is the maximum terminal can be accessed? Just right click and go to preferences. And here you have that the number of workspace that you have 4 by default. And now maximum is 32 can be configured. See here, have the multiple workspaces I have. Suppose I don't want this, so I just need that only 2. So just you have to give that, remove the 32 and give it 2 and close it. Now you can see that only 2 you can see. So this is how the workspace can be managed. Okay, so this is all about the graphical desktop. Guys, remember, so the graphical desktop, I just explained the first unit, okay? But in the further unit, till the last day of the Linux class, whatever the other concepts that we have, everything that we are going to do it from the command only. But the graphical desktop, the one which you're seeing it, no, this is in the classroom setup, you will be having it. But in the production server, you never have this graphical desktop in any of the server. You know how you will get the window. So this is how you will get the window. If you log into any of the server, this is the window it's going to launch for you. From here, you have to log in and execute the command and access the operating system. Okay, so how to get into this and how to run the commands on this, how to log in, that I will take it in tomorrow's classes. Okay, so far, do you have any question on this, whatever we have seen now? So some few commands only we have seen so far. Any question? Which one? Inside the Linux or outside? Where it is? The second item. This one. No, places. Yeah, so the photos, the documents will be connected to Windows system or maybe separate. This one connect to server? Huh? No, sir. Photos video server. Okay, this one. See that in the Linux also you can keep it. You can store it in Linux. Yes, Linux also. That which is their picture and the music and all. In the Linux, if you have any photos and all that you can see. You can connect to the internet also here. I can show the example of uploading the file in the uploading the file where? In the document directory. Yes. So from the command prompt, I will show you. And here that open the terminal, or else already I have opened one I have. Okay. See, I have here that the one file I have. So what is the file? Install.log file. So where I have to upload? Documents. So you have to go for copy install.log file that I'm just copying it to where? So to the document and enter. So now here that if you get into the document and here if you do ls, can you see install.log? Okay, so now I will show you one more file. So that is the boot file, it's there. So now here CP is to copy, boot file, I'm dumping it to the documents. So now here if you get into the document and if you do ls, see here, boot and install.log. Okay. Clear? These all commands we will see in further classes. He just asked that I said. Okay. Any question before wind up for today's class? Just go on. This one. This one, I just did not see here. I have showed the command how to shut down the server. Okay. After writing the command, what happens? I have to enter it. If I enter, what happens? It will go for down. So I have come out from here. Control C is the shortcut I have used to come to the next prompt. Okay. So the same thing. So here I have written one command. I don't want to execute. I've used Control C. Okay. Otherwise, if I enter, it will start, yeah. So it gives the output of that. It will start install. It will start shut down the server, that all this stuff. Okay. See, when you're practicing it, you cannot install as of now the package, but this command you can try. Okay. After writing the command, don't use Control C. Execute and shut down once. Okay. Clear? No. If you type C here, I will shut down now. So init 0. See here. If you run the init 0 and enter, you no need to close anything. Automatically, everything will go off now. Okay. Okay, so fine then. If no questions, we'll wind up for today. And this recording already drive link you have got no in the WhatsApp. Same drive link, I will update it. So just download and keep it in your system and practice it. Okay, if you have any questions, make a note of that and get back to me in the next class. Okay, so fine then. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.